Welcome, everybody. Oh boy, is this going to be rough. Welcome to the very first Walk Through Shenmue that I made. Wow, is this rough. As you can see, I already... Oh, dang, it is just laggy and jaggedy, isn't it? As you can see, I desperately wanted to get that immersion going, but I didn't fully understand how to make that possible. So I did the biggest cardinal sin you can do. I stretched the original image, and oh man, I mean, dang, Rio is looking thick like this. No offense, Rio. Wow. Oh, just how jaggedy. I forgot how bad the upload was when I was creating this episode. I was using a very old PC that could barely handle rendering the video and putting the video actually out. And I was trying to get as high a quality as I possibly could, but comparing this to even a Walk Through Shenmue much later on, it's like night and day with how crisp I was able to finally get it. And thanks to the community, mostly over on Twitter and Reddit, they helped me figure out how to use a 16:9 mod that, while not perfect, didn't do this, where the stretching is just so abhorrent and terrible. Oh. Believe it or not, I actually made a whole bunch of episodes like this because I thought, well, this is the best I can do. I can't do anything else about it. I can't play and record the remasters. This is all I've got. So I thought, well, I'm going to make do. And I made a few episodes because I was making them for myself. Eventually, I was convinced, why not share them with others? And I started to do that, and then everybody told me how I could fix it. So maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but I deleted all the old episodes. I had made, I think like 12 of them in this style, both for this and a few Shenmue views. I was just starting to think of the idea of Shenmue views as well. Some of you who were there early on, oh, dang, it is jaggedy. Hi, Mimi. How you doing? I didn't talk to Mimi. And also, yeah, like I said, my tech for being able to record this and even make this happen was so low quality, and it wasn't able to do anything. I mean, the setup I have right now, I had to cobble together and actually use a lot of money I shouldn't have just to get to that higher level because I desperately wanted this to look better. Oh, I hope you're going to get through this okay. And this is kind of a retrospective on where it started, because I just hit 2,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who made that possible. Some of you have been with me since this very episode, and to you, I thank so much. I'm surprised that even seeing this, you were willing to stick around, but I'm glad you did. And to everybody, if you're brand new, thank you and welcome. I'm glad to have you. This, of course, I was sticking to the format of not talking to any of the NPCs, not having any QTEs or scenes kick in. It was just, let's see what I can do walking around here without interacting with everybody and just getting the environment, you know? I might still comment on this as I would a normal Walk Through Shenmue with commentary episode. Also at this point, again, thank you to everybody who enjoyed the playthrough Shenmue. I appreciate that so much. I'm really glad that everybody liked it. I could tell a lot of interaction was happening. The statistics were telling me people were not only sticking around to watch it more, but you were interacting with more parts of the episodes because you found something interesting. The comments are lovely. Thank you for all the comments and encouragement. Everybody letting me know their favorite parts, what they like, that they want more. I promise I am going to try to make more of those. I don't know exactly how, because like I said, I'm kind of a one-man band at the moment, and I'm trying desperately to manage time and family and time with loved ones and be able to do this, and sometimes blocking out an entire hour just to record doesn't always work. With this one, I actually had a unique moment where I could record this one quickly compared to when I'm actually playing the game. I need to really concentrate, look at what I'm doing, and, like the gameplay. Like this, I'm just watching it, and I'm describing how I was feeling back then and how I'm feeling now. If I'm playing the game, full focus. The steps. Did you see the steps? The steps had just like little etching marks to show where wear, tear, and cracks happen. On the wall over there, you can see all the wear. And that style over there, with like, see the holes in the left corner on certain bricks? That style is still in Japan. You can still see a lot of this. I want to take the moment to say, it's expensive. I know it's expensive for most of us to go to Japan, unless if you're already in Asia. But if you have the time, if you have the money, I say it's one of those trips that you'll enjoy and you'll never forget. I love traveling to Asia if ever I can. I love the culture, the history, the food, the people. Everything about Asia is so interesting and fascinating to me. It kind of makes sense why Yu Suzuki, a man from Japan, is also so obsessed with a lot of Asian culture and history all around him. He Japan, but we all know how obsessed he got with China. Oh, look at that sky. It's just such a picture-perfect sky. Man. AM2, Yu Suzuki's team, Sega, you know how to do a pretty sky. I always love the touch here with the washing machines being outside. Semi-common, not as much anymore. Typically, most rural houses are going to have those inside the house, usually in the bathroom or close to the wet room. Very common. I remember when I was recording this, I was so afraid of certain characters, but other ones that I knew wouldn't do anything, like the gossiping housewives here. I love that giant leek just sticking out of her basket every time. Me jittering there. Either that was a mistake or I thought it was funny and I kept doing it. Yeah, I remember early on here, I was so concerned about, I've played this game a million times, but there are certain parts where I'm like, am I gonna create a character that's not create a character? Am I gonna walk to a character and are they gonna interact with me? It happens more in Shenmue 2, where you're just walking down the street, walking by a stall, and I think the idea in Shenmue 2 was they wanted the NPCs to interact with you because so many people were having such a hard time figuring out where to go because it was such a big area. This way, somebody at a stall would say, "Hey, young man, would you like to eat this?" And by doing that, Ryo, of course, he would just say, "No, thank you." And then they would say, "Well, then what are you doing here?" And then you say, "I am looking for a Monmo temple." "Oh, it's over there. Just go that way." Ingenious idea of hand-holding. Oh, yes, I remember this. If I look down, all right, you saw how jittery it was in certain parts? If I look down, my hardware was so poor, it could barely handle the details of the element of the floor trying to load everything. I could barely do it. As you see, I got scared. I think I got scared and it was chugging so bad, and I just quickly went, okay, we're leaving here. Because again, I was figuring all this out as I was going along. I had done a few tests to make sure nothing would happen, but you know how it is. You walk into certain buildings during certain parts of the storyline, and characters will interact, and I so badly didn't want that to happen, because I just want you to hear the world itself. You know what I mean? Just the sound of the world. All these elements with the birds and the dogs and everybody interacting. Just making a symphony. It's an orchestra. And in the orchestra, we have all these different elements. We have the actual graphics that make up the world is one part of the orchestra. The other part is literally the music. And then we have the detail of the Foley sounds of dogs and birds. We have the uplifting elements of the sky and the way that it changes at sunset. We have a big part of the orchestra, which is the characters, interacting with them, listening to them, talking to them, having them impart story elements and feeling onto you as far as what's happening and making you feel that you're there. All so incredible and so inspiring and so well done. That's why I've been able to play these many hours and still feel so inspired and still enjoy it. That is one thing that I did promise myself. I feel like... How can I put this? People have asked me to do other games. And there are other games that I do love. Like a lot of Legend of Zelda games are fantastic. I quite enjoy a lot of the Resident Evil series, Silent Hill series. I adore a lot of the Bioshock games. Oh, mailman. And a kitty. I enjoy the Bioshock games. And I adore Alan Wake. Love Alan Wake. And, quite a few others. I know I'm forgetting some of my other all-time favorites to not bother me. And of course, the classics, all the Mario, Sonics, all that stuff. I do love all that stuff, but I do like a good story. And this, of course, is why I've been hooked to Shenmue. But anyways, back to the point of me doing other games. I have thought about it. I've thought about trying something else. I can never get the setup quite right with what I want to do. And for some of them, I just don't know if I could put in the hours and still be happy. Do you know what I mean? I could spend... I do spend days playing Shenmue, Shenmue 2. I can't do 3 because of my setup. It won't work. It chugs as bad as this. I can spend days playing this. And it just feels so warm and welcoming and soothing and relaxing, and so many parts of it make me smile. Like the girls that we just walked by, the bully girls at the front of the schoolgirl uniforms. Seeing them makes me happy because I know I can talk to them and they'll tell me to piss off. Or down there at the Bellwood vending machine down there, I know eventually our favorite local mooch is going to come by and he's going to want a drink. And I can choose to be nice and give him a nice refreshing Jet Cola, or I can be mean and give him a hot can of coffee and he still says thanks. Oh, again, I'm going to apologize on and off about the jittering. I am sorry. Maybe this will be unwatchable. Maybe you won't even be able to stand it. For me, it makes me laugh because I just remember how much I struggled trying to record these and trying to make them look good. I wanted it to be in at least HD and try for 2K. I wanted that so badly. I know most people say, for YouTube, 1080p HD is all you need. As long as you can get to that level, it'll look good. But of course, if your hardware is chugging as you're recording, it's not so good. So yeah, I think this is just 1080p if I remember correctly. Oh, the sky. And if you look up, see all the crisscross of the wires for the different power cables and poles are so great. I love all the unique designs. Like what does her shirt say? It looks like it says B-U-C-H. I'm assuming it says Butch, but it looks like it's got a flower. I know for a lot of stuff they did grab elements from pre-made packages that they could easily just throw on there, especially when it comes to like the world building in Shenmue 2. But some of it I think they worked on. I think they worked hard on it. They wanted it to look a certain way and have a certain appeal to it. And again, they didn't have to put a shirt with any text on it. That shirt could have been plain yellow. We would have walked right by it and we wouldn't have cared. We would have said, oh, there's a character wearing a yellow shirt. How interesting. If you choose to, you don't have to interact with hardly any of the characters in this game. There's only a few characters you really need to speak to move the story along. The rest of them, you can ignore them. But they're here, and they have dialogue, and they have backstories like this, like the Russia China shop. Later on, her grandson, we help him. Oh, done gossiping, eh? We help her grandson. We speak to her. That moves Ryo's story along, and if you see the grandson playing in front of the bakery, you can talk to him, and he will escort you to the China shop so that you can find out what the letter says in Chinese. But again, you don't have to do that. You can just ask, anybody in town who is Chinese, and they will start to redirect you to her, and eventually you can get in. So you don't even have to do that. Oh, it's just... Sorry, I just really think this is so cool. I like how this place is a little bit different. How you can see up the right-hand elements, up over the right-hand side of the wall there, so you can still see outside. I always think that's a nice touch. They could have gotten rid of it. Would have been easier to load, I suppose. Oh, it's just so amazing and stunning, and it still amazes me that I've been doing this for a few years now. I always think I've been doing this for like a year maybe, and I'm like, oh, I'm almost up to a year. I should celebrate that it's been a year or something like that, but it's been a few years now. Oh, lockdown, select, lockdown, there we go. I'm always drawn to Funny Bear Burger. The name itself, the sign itself, everything about it is just so interesting. And I always loved walking in the early episodes, and even today, I love walking into the little nooks and crannies. Again, you have no need to walk down there. No need. They're the Funny Bear Burger owner. He does come out and he sweeps. And I guess you can talk to him when he's coming out, I suppose, but you don't need to. It's not necessary. But you can, and that just makes it so cool. Alright, I'm having a nice little scan here. MJQ. Place to be, Bar Yokosuka. I love the bars are close. I love that. It seems like in the Shenmue community, there's a little bit of a rivalry choice between which bar is your favorite, Bar Yokosuka or MJQ. What is the favorite for you? I think most people do pick MJQ. I do like MJQ. It's very pretty. All the wood elements, the pool table. I think it's really awesome. But I feel like Ryo feels more at home in Bar Yokosuka. You know what I mean? Like, when he walks in, I mean, he's immediately handed a cola and asked, "What's up? What's the problem?" That's showing that familiarity, kindness. Everybody knows everybody. And I think that's something that's actually really nice about the plot. I think that makes it unique that a lot of the NPCs in the first game, they know Ryo. He's part of this world. He's been living here since he was a kid. The NPCs know who he is because he'll come into, he'll go to Bob's Pizza to get a pizza. Bob knows him. How's Nozomi? I can see that she does her best to give you as many googly eyes as possible and you don't look at her. Oh no, a foreigner. Is that a sailor? The slot house is fun. I know there's not much to it. I got really lucky a few episodes ago. I hit the jackpot in there. I've rarely done that. I thought that was cool. And then I played Shenmue 2 and I got the jackpot in two of the different slot houses in Hong Kong. I always love him standing down there just like, I'm waiting for a kid. Oh, there he goes on the bike. I'm sure many of you know. There was programming and video footage showing Ryo being on the bike. We could have ridden the bike through town, but I am in the camp where I am glad we did not get the bike. Because if you're on the bike, you're going to be zooming past stores, zooming past NPCs. You're going to miss a lot. And you don't want to miss a lot with a game like this, you know? You want to see the details, and if you're on a bike and you're going fast, you're not going to see anything. Oh, I got confused. I always love this. I wonder if they ever gave him a bat. He's supposed to be showing how to do a proper baseball bat swing. Oh, it's getting chunky. Again, I can tell when I got scared back then, and I would zoom in on something real quick. That way the game, my poor limited RAM and my processor was able to go, okay, I only have to render this sign. I don't have to render the rest of the world. Whew, I can take a break. Oh, Naokatsu produce. Everything always looks good. Some of these pictures in this game of the food, I still think looks stunningly good. It looks appealing. Some of them aren't even that jagged. They just look good, you know? Oh, and there's Nozomi. Hi, Nozomi. I desperately wanted Ryo to talk to her. I love her, Grandma. I love her. Ah, you're that Hazuki boy. She's such an excellent character. Oh, it's so good. Excellent. Of course, we're going towards Tomato Mart. I wonder if I go in. I'm going to assume that I do. The draw would be too strong. Oh, Ryo. Oh, apparently past me. Wanted to tease and just go, no, I'm not going to go. Oh, how is everybody holding up? The jitters and the ultra stretched Ryo. Oh, sorry. I love the worker over there at Water Dragon. Such a cool look. Very 80s. Got a mohawk. Bright. Hyper pink. Anybody else from the 80s remember wearing pink? Even if you were a dude, you wore that hyper bright pink, and you thought you were awesome. I thought I was awesome, but I'm not. Just screwing around. There's Tom. Tom is hawking his hot dogs, homemade pickles. Again, wonderful character design elements here. Having Tom be jovial, but caring. He cares and he knows Ryo. Oh, look, did you see the baskets hanging off the edge up there? And we know that the owner of the Asia Travel Company, not Asia Travel Company, what's the name of that travel company back there? Dang it, I can't remember. Shoot. Gosh, dang, I gotta pay attention more. Anyways, he doesn't live there, he leaves at the end of the day, so it makes me think, is that wasted space up there, or is somebody using it? Somebody's gotta be using it, right? Anyways, Tom is an awesome character. Giving him the super unique design, appealing and friendly personality. He wants to get to know you. He wants to talk to you. And then spoilers, I guess. When you get to the end, Tom goes back to America, and for some reason Ryo stays at the harbor all day, and we see a plane leave, and Tom's on it. But it gives, it's almost like they knew that it was going to be continued after this first one, and they were like, well, we got to give some kind of closure, dramatic ending that's not just, fight, to be continued. And I think they decided to do that with Tom. I think they were thinking, all right, here's a character we got to know. We like him. We're familiar with him. He's so nice. Ryo's close to him, but he's going to leave. Ryo's leaving. Nozomi's leaving. So many characters are departing at the end. One really big departure, It almost, I wonder if that was being done to make Ryo feel even more alone. Like, the friends in his life, keep friends, those you love close to you, to quote his father, are also all leaving the hometown that he grew up in. He himself included. I swear the birds here just have a slightly different chirp than when we're back in Sakuragaoka. Just a little bit, Boy, Ryo. I went in here, and this is one area where it's trying to render so many elements that things can get very shaky very fast. If you had seen any of my earlier episodes, you would have seen that. Some of my early episodes where I did figure out the screen formatting, if you watch those... Oh, there's a kitty. If you watch those, there is some lag and stuff like that, because I was able to fix the screen format, but most of my text still wasn't able to handle the ability of emulating the Dreamcast game and trying to record it in higher quality. I did discover, of course, if I lowered my recording quality, that it looked better, but I didn't want that. I wanted it to look at least HD, so if you put it on your monitor while you're at work, it'll look good. Not great, but at least it'll look good, And that was, when I originally made these were just for me. I just was going to have them on in the background on a computer screen while I'm doing some work. I'm typically working at a PC, whether I'm at home or at work or far away. I'm typically on a PC in some way or fashion. I just wanted to have Shenmue playing, mainly because I didn't have the time to really sit down and play the games. And whenever I did, I'd play it for a bit and then I would stop. This was my best way to play it, record it, and still enjoy it. Up, Brett, you arcade. I love you, arcade. Hang on, poster, Future Spy. But if we're playing Future Spy, wouldn't that make him a present spy? Oh my. What's your favorite arcade game, everybody? Excite QTE, QTE title, Space Harrier, Hang On, Darts. Oh, I love the recreation of the cabinets. They did such a good job. I want to play the cocktail cabinet game so bad. Cocktail cabinets are my favorite style of arcade machine. I know the traditional stand-up one is the one you see most often, the one that most people want to play. The hang-on one, of course, is awesome with its size, and so is Space Harrier with you being able to sit in it. They're all cool, but for me, just cocktail cabinets are just awesome. You get the practicality of using it as a table. It's always typically available to play as a 2-player game, whatever you're picking to play, like Centipede or something like that. And they have done re-releases of modern versions, but it's not what I want. I want the stuff I remember going to a restaurant and seeing one in the corner. It'd be really scratched up and a little bit greasy from people eating like onion rings and hot dogs on it. But still, I'd sit down, it'd be 1 quarter to play, I'd crank a few hours and enjoy myself. And the maps, oh, I love the maps. My early episodes, I would zoom in on these maps like crazy. Oh, jeez, it's jittering, sorry. But I just thought, what a neat way for us to interact with the world and see where we need to go, It works so well, huh? Somebody's getting some cigarettes, naughty. Oh, that was bad. There's the bus, I love the bus. Oh, okay, excuse you, sir. Yep, as you can see, I stopped to look at the bus. I guess, oh, it's our friends are getting off the bus, awesome. As you can see, I love that bus. The details on it, the weathering, the way the tire rotation on it that's moving up. I'm blocking the newspaper boy to our left. I'm sorry. Surprised I didn't get excited to look at that. I usually do. The flower shops are wonderful. It's interesting that, characters who are your friends and are typically teenagers, or maybe they just recently graduated. It's interesting that so many of them have jobs at their family businesses in town. And a lot of them are like rivals. There's 2 floral shops in town. You'd figure that they'd be kind of going at each other with competition, but I suppose not. Oh, I love this. As you can see, it's, what time is it in the game? It's a little bit after 4:15. And you can see that the lighting has changed. We still have a blue sky, partly cloudy, but the light has gotten just a little bit darker. Just a little bit. Yep, and I always do love looking at Tom's menu. Hot dog, big hot dog, spicy dog, fresh dog. I am scared to eat a fresh dog. Takoyaki dog sounds great. Fried potatoes. I will have a pickle, please. You say you're famous for your pickles, Tom. I will have a pickle, please. Ooh, yes. And I'm glad Past Me did this. I love how the bikes for the different businesses are all parked along whatever open space there is. Maybe not next to the business, but they just park them wherever they could. Just to get them nearby, and then later on you will see them drive away, and it's so freaking cool. They could have just had the bikes disappear or leave them there, or just keep all the characters walking, but they wanted to have, in addition to bicycles, they wanted to have the small scooters and motorbikes driving around. Oh, look at the sunset. Oh, that's so pretty. I just wish the image looked better, and for some reason I'm going into Tomato's convenience store. As you can see, it's still early on in the game, which is why you have the first set of cassettes. I don't know how many people know this. I think most people know this. You do know, as the game, the dates progress and the story progresses, that the cassettes will actually change out. You will have different cassettes. That also goes for the magazines. The magazines will actually be changed out. Some, right now, I think early on in the game, it's got the most prevalent is the Pooh magazine, and maybe the Travel magazine, and later on I think it switches to like the Italian cooking, more of the mangas, and the swimsuit issues move to the front, I think. Again, I'm racking my brain here. See, this looks good. The taco, the tonkatsu sandwiches up there. Those look right up there in the top right. Those look good. They look literally like what I would expect to see if I went into 7-Eleven. It's great. And these look great too. I'm so glad they did that. They rendered the cans. Does anybody know? Are they fully 3D or are we just getting the front half? I know those are 3D. I don't think those are. I know those aren't. Block ice. I know these are. I just wonder if, like, you know, is there a 3D model of the Jet Cola cans? Oh, I wish we could look at them. All right, here, I look at the magazine. Yeah, you can see primarily Pooh, Italian cooking, another cooking one that's got all the green bell peppers on it. Oh, nope, swimsuit issue is front and center, along with the Statue of Liberty. A bunch of manga. I really think that somebody else knows more than me. I think the manga back there, it looks like it's like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Maybe there's like the Fist of the North Star, or I don't know. Did Ranma come out in the 80s? Not 100%. Not 100%, but it looks like it to me. Anyways, we looked at the prizes you can win. I had a good time doing that. I'm glad I'm making it back outside for more of the sunset because it is stunning. Look at that. Look at the mountain in the background. Japan, of course, is very mountainous. It creates for some incredibly epic and wonderful looking sunsets. If you wake up on a misty morning, it looks really cool. That goes for a lot of Asia, like China and South Korea. Some areas are very mountainous, and they look gorgeous when you hit them in the right light. It's fantastic. I don't know about the Philippines. I've got some friends from the Philippines, and I know that they do have mountains, but I've never been to the Philippines. I'm not sure. Oh, I love it. There's the old man. He's there with his grandson. His grandson, I'm sure, is looking at the sports memorabilia. Oh, am I interested in Ajiichi? I am. And again, they rendered that box inside, so you can be seen entering a space, but they didn't render everything, of course. Trying to remember in my first ones if there was anything I was surprised by. This surprised me. I didn't know you could actually zoom in on the kitchen. I mean, it's not the kitchen, it's the side kitchen. I didn't know you could do that. I remember being surprised. This I knew. But when I could actually see back there to the sink and everything, I was shocked I could do that. The tossing technique, always important. It's so cool that we can zoom in on the different condiments, the chopstick dispenser. I still think that's amazing. I know it's just simple elements being bent, but it looks amazing. It's so cool. Lots of books and magazines. A lot of restaurants will have books, magazines, manga that you can borrow while you're there. So if you want to just read while you eat, you can. Welcoming you to stay longer, I suppose. Which makes sense on their end. The longer you stay to watch TV or read a book, the more likely that you will be thirsty or hungry for more food. There we go. I finally noticed the sunset properly, and I was like, oh, it looks so cool. And I love the Transformers up there. Not the robots in disguise. The Transformers for the poles. Well, see, I was a man obsessed with the man. I was insanely obsessed with these maps. I couldn't get enough. I was just like, oh, I love it, it's so cool. And each map is just a little bit different with the wear and tear and different elements. Oh, it's just so cool. But yeah, the power poles and the wires and everything and the way that they all crisscross, it's just so cool and detailed. I like the idea of it being Yokosuka, Japan, knocking. I love the idea of, emphasizing a knocking engine is a bad engine that needs to be fixed. So, that's what the shop does. Come to knocking, and we'll get rid of the knocking. Excellent. Oh, bar tune, I wish you were open. I wonder, do you think if Shenmue first one was released today... See, I'm of two thoughts about this. I think if it was released today, we'd be able to go in every single building, but unless if Yu Suzuki and his team from back then was making it with the same mindset, I think it would just be GTA. Grand Theft Auto, copy-paste, make most places the same. I know there are unique stores and places to go in GTA, but to me, so much of it just really seems copy-paste. Everything that's been put here has a purpose and a feeling to it, in my opinion. They were agonizing over certain elements, and I bet they wanted to have more of these stores open so we could go in and explore. That's why I was thinking, if this game came out today with the same care, heart, attention, I bet you all of these places, majority of them, would be open. We could go inside. Or maybe, the way everything goes nowadays, maybe they would make a DLC. Want to go into a different part of Dobuita? Get the DLC, and you can go experience more shops and characters and stuff like that. Might be a harder sell. Hey, do you want to explore more of the game? Pay us money, but I don't know, the way DLC goes with this stuff. Unless if the company's a good company and isn't so money-hungry, insane, that they charge you if you want to take one step outside of the normal boundaries. I don't know. I'm rambling. The sign, if you're interested, it's I believe it says, come to Dobuita for sales. Just trying to drum up business for the locals, saying, come on down. Our beautiful blue sky is gone. Oh, I'm going to look at the bentos. The bento boxes look so good. Dang, she's open till 8 o'clock at night. She's open decently late. Although that's somewhat common in Asia. Typically, because there's long working hours at a lot of restaurants, a lot of people do want to go out and eat or need to grab a meal on their late walk home from work. So, again, most of these bentos look awesome. When we get to the harbor, I think it just looks awesome. They look delicious to me. Guess I'm not going to the antique shop. Oh, can't get any more seafood. Looks like that's closed up for the night. I remember recording this and feeling, it's not perfect, but I'm happy that I can get a little Shenmue in my day. The music, the sounds, and the sights. I'll be doing something on the computer, and then I'll look at my second monitor, or I'll have this playing in a smaller window. Easy there, Baker Chef. It just makes me happy that I could enjoy some of the game. Now, there's lots of Let's Plays out there. People have made lots of Let's Plays. But my problem with that is partly what I'm doing right now. I didn't want to hear anybody talking. I didn't want any commentary. And then some of the other Let's Plays, I did like them, but they would move the story along and talk to characters, and I'm like, no. I don't want heart-pounding action. I don't want us running through the streets QTEing over every apple that falls at us. Just want to enjoy the world. And that's where it started, and wow, I had an idea of wanting to do something like this for a very, very long time. Man, I think I wanted to do this since like 2010. I had this idea, but I never had the tech or the knowledge of how to do emulation. I'm a novice. I don't know how to do a lot of stuff, you guys. It's trial and error. Oh. disappointing every time. A lot of it was trial and error. I was trying so hard just to figure out how can I record this? What kind of software do I need to get to edit this? I quickly found out I needed to buy a lot of things. I'm paying yearly subscriptions for my editing software. I want better tech so I can record more, do more. But, that takes time and money, and both of those things are very, very hard for me to get with everything going on. So, I always believe do the best with what you got as best you can. And this first video is a strong case of that. Oh, it's so cool to see that Sega sign up there. Sega, we love you, please. You're restarting so many franchises at this point in history. We want to support you. We want to support your company. We want to support you, Suzuki. I know you're restarting stuff like Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, Jet Grind Radio, you're Shinobi, you're doing that, and I can see that you're doing it in a more simplistic way to save money, but I'm not saying it's bad. It all looks great. I'm really looking forward to playing it. There's our favorite drunk. I saw him and got excited. I'm okay. But, yeah, Sega, come on. Oh, Lord, it's getting jittery. I really want to stay focused on him, but... there we go. It's evening out. Anyways, Sega, please. I know Shenmue is expensive, but if you can make 1 million Yakuza games and give them the budget, you can make Shenmue. Advertise it well. Advertise to the Yakuza Like a Dragon series and say, do you love this franchise? Of course they do. Do you want to see the genesis, the beginnings of your favorite franchise? Continue this story and help Ryo get revenge or learn a lesson in his life about revenge. It just makes so much sense, and I know sometimes it's oil and water when it comes to people who enjoy Yakuza and people who enjoy Shenmue. I like both. If I had to pick a favorite, of course I'm going to pick Shenmue, just because I think it has more depth and heart to it than... Yakuza does. It absolutely does. I'm not bashing Yakuza. It's a good series. They've done a great job. And I know a lot of the team that's on Yakuza, well, at least initially, was the team that primarily worked on Shenmue. I bet you anything if Sega came over and said, hey, are you guys interested at all in making Shenmue games with Yu Suzuki, who should be treated, in my opinion, a little bit better than he's treated. Did so much for the video game industry. His mark is on so many elements of classic games, and it can still be felt in modern games today. Wow, look at the pub karaoke down the sign. Oh, it looks awesome. In any case, I'm rambling. Just please, Sega, come on. The fact that we still love you, even though you ignore us and ignore Shenmue so much, must let you know how much we do still like you and how much we really wish that you would just get on the bandwagon. Alright, enough of me ranting. Let's go back to me in the past. Am I going to go into MJQ? Apparently I'm not. I don't know why. I thought for sure I'd go on at least one of the... Well, I'm not going to go into Barrio Cosca because I bet I was really... Yeah, I bet you that's it. Past me was very, very scared. I was scared. I was scared to go in there because I knew that, going to MJQ, a little cutscene kicks in. I was worried somebody might talk to me. Of course, I know that nobody talks at MJQ. If you go into Barrio Cosca, what's his name? Yada-san? Is that the right name? Yada-san will talk to you. I know he does. And I didn't want to do that, and I was too scared, and I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to go in there. I was really obsessed with the Russia China shop, wasn't I? I think I stopped and looked at that like 2 or 3 times. I am glad that I explored so much of the world itself. I couldn't get to the harbor yet, but I spent a good amount of time exploring around here, so that's cool. Again, the lighting is just so cool. I don't know, Ryo really does look like somebody squished him down to make him not so tall, but then they stretched him out. And I know that's what's happening right now with the graphics, the way I have it set up, so. Oh, as you can see, it's already night. Wait. Oh, I guess Ryo's not gonna go look at the... I thought I would make him go look at the map again because I like the different lighting that's on it, but apparently not. We're gonna go back to Sakuragoka. By this point, I'm sure I was getting edgy about, ooh, I gotta get back to the Hazuki house before it gets too late. Oh, but I went into an alcove, and see, I was already understanding. Oh, see, now I didn't look down there. See. Later on, I look down that hole and I try to move the camera and just, am I gonna see something mysterious, something new? Oh, the taxi's gone. Anybody who watches my Sukapass Saturday episodes, you know the story of the man and the woman who lives there and the tragic story of what happened to her daughter. In my early episodes, I often stop at the park because I want to look at the park bench, because the moment between Ryo and Nozomi on the park bench is just so doggone sweet. It's incredibly sweet. You can't beat that ending of her resting her head on his shoulder. Stay with me for a little while. Oh my God. Teenage me playing this. I suddenly was feeling feelings I hadn't felt before, where I was going, this is like a heavy moment. Speaking of heavy, spending all your money on capsule toys. Always a fun activity, but yeah, I just remember being blown away with this sweet, tender moment. And I was like, oh my God, Ryo, you have to stay here with Nozomi forever. You can't leave. Don't go, Ryo. Good, I'm glad I was thinking ahead to go and explore the rest. As you can see, I guess I was worried about losing some time here, so I took a look around. Oh, it's so janky. Again, I'm really sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. No, I'm not trying to do it on purpose. I just had such limitations at the beginning. It was very limited. And those early episodes, oh man, they are limited. I've even thought about going back and remaking some of those, just because I liked some of the styles, and I'm sure eventually, I do similar things in some of the episodes. The game is limited in where we can go, but I always like to try to do something new, something different. Whether it's the music, the weather, the locations we visit. I was always trying to make something fresh. Oh, dang, this thing is glitchy. Yes, Mimi, I hear you. And apparently, back then, I heard her, and I wanted to go take a look. Oh, it's just, the lighting in here is just so cool. It's so awesome. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, man, I love this game. And I want to just repeat to everybody out there, thank you. I want to thank everybody, whether you stop by once or you stop by every week to check out these episodes. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. That's Japanese for thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoy these videos and you understand what I'm trying to do. They won't be perfect, but I'm just trying to make something that we all can enjoy, and maybe it'll help us during a difficult time when you need to relax and just take a moment to enjoy the simplicity of an old video game made with so much love, care, and heart to it. Oh, just look at that. It's just beautiful. So, I thank you all so much for that. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you'll keep coming back and discovering new things and new elements and new parts of the story. And maybe you'll discover something that you forgot about. And that's the thing. That's one of the big things since I've been doing this. gosh, you're so cool. Deer scare is gonna go. I guarantee I'm gonna stay until that deer scare in the back right. Yep. Awesome. And that's one of the things that I've been surprised by when I'm playing this game. Is that, like, okay, something that I discovered a long time ago in the past, maybe when I was a teenager, and I saw it, and at the time I thought it was cool, and then every other time I would play the game, you know, it was almost like I was trying to just get through the story. I wasn't trying to explore and do what I do now. And that's not good, you know. It's meant to be appreciated and enjoyed in a different way, and that's why I've been so enjoying these and coming back to these, because I rediscover stuff, you know? I rediscover things that I forgot about. I forgot about that little detail, or in the bush there's a stone lantern but the light's out, and I forgot about how intricate the bonsai trees look here, the way certain characters behave. Oh, the characters. Some of the behaviors of some of the characters have just blown me away with how unique, different, and sometimes weird and funny they can be. And that just makes the game incredibly charming. I think I wanted to zoom in on the nameplate that says Hazuki, but oh well. Awesome.